Hi guys, I'm back with video number 2. I'm showing up. Oh, also shout out to my neighbor Erin. She made me this tank top. She's very sweet. I was in my quiet time this morning and I really felt like I wanted to share about my very first modeling experience. So I don't know who's out there right now, which one of you youngins needs to hear this, or anyone really. You don't have to be young, but let's be serious. There's probably not that many young people on Facebook, so anyway, I'll share it regardless. It's funny because people think, my first modeling experience was in 2008. I moved to LA. I was very excited. I signed with LA Models. It was super exciting at the time because that was a really big agency. And my very first modeling job, I was getting paid $1,500 for just a couple hours, and it was a runway show. I was going to be modeling for a denim line called Ed Hardy. It was a very gaudy, busy line at the time that was pretty popular. And the owner, Christian Auger, he was having his 50th birthday party. So I was told I was going to be doing runway at the birthday party. It was a very high profile event. There was going to be a lot of celebrities. So all these things combined were very exciting to me. I was new to LA and I was pretty pumped. And so my brother dropped me off. It was at this really nice museum in West Hollywood, and he dropped me off. I walked back to hair and makeup. I'm so excited. It's my first time ever getting hair and makeup done, and the wardrobe comes in and she tells us what we're going to be wearing, and I'll never forget, she holds up a thong and pasties and told us that there were 12 models. She said 6 of us were going to be demons and 6 were going to be angels, and I was going to be a demon. And I was basically going to be naked, body painted, at a party full of celebrities serving them hors d'oeuvres. What? My agent told me I was doing runway for denim. Never mentioned anything about being body painted. But I was stuck because I was already there. First of all, if I backed out at this point, I'd lose my agent. They would drop me, which I didn't want to happen. I really didn't know what else to do. It was a lot of money. I honestly was just completely stuck. And so I did what I do best, which was turn to alcohol, because I felt very insecure and very just exposed and exploited. So I just started pounding shots of whiskey to be able to just do the job. The last thing I remember is Snoop Dogg requesting me to dance on stage with him, and so that's all I remember. I passed out behind the stage. Thank God one of the models cared and she found my cell phone in the green room, and she called the last person that I had called, and that was my brother. And so my brother came right away. He was fighting with security trying to get into the event, but they wouldn't let him in because it was, you had to be on a list. It was very high profile. After so long, apparently, of arguing and crying and fighting with security, one security guard let him in and escorted him back to me, and they carried me out just completely dead weight. I was blacked out to my brother's car, and that was my very first modeling experience. And so I don't say all of this to discourage you if you are wanting to get in the industry or be a model or whatever it is you're wanting to do. I say this because I have many of these stories that people don't know. Like, you see the picture, the final result of things I might post on Facebook or Fakebook, like my father-in-law calls it, and you see the picture, but you don't know what's happening behind the scenes. And so I really feel led to just share some of these stories that I've never really told anyone publicly. Like, I've shared this many times one-on-one, and as I go on sharing some of these things, you'll see that each time I compromise just a little bit more, little things, and my agent would just have me do one more thing, and I would just do it. Honestly, I would feel like I'm doing such a disservice if I don't share my own personal experiences and the bad choices that I made and where it led me, because when I tell you it got much worse than this first experience, it did. And I made a lot of horrible decisions. It led me to a lot of heartache in my life that could have been avoided by right decisions. I just look at where I am now and it doesn't even make sense, and where God has brought me through just following Him and doing things different and living life differently than I was. I just know, like, I wish I would have known then what I know now, because now, if I were in that position, I would have walked away. Like, I would have just left the event. I would have known who I was. I would have said, no, I know who I am, and I don't have to do this just to feel important or to matter. Because at that time in my life, I thought the reason that I was loved and the things I was celebrated for was my accomplishments and what I was doing and how pretty I looked. And knowing now that that's not what makes me valuable is a game changer. And how selfish would that be for me to not share that, especially with the generation below me? Just the things I've learned and had to walk through. There's just so much more than my life was a mess, God pulled me out, rescued me, and now I'm here. There was a lot that happened, and mostly because of my own choices. That's really my point in sharing all of this, and I hope it pushes you closer to the Lord and to really lean into Him and learn about who you are and whose you are, and that you don't have to do what culture says you have to do. You actually already matter. You already do. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope that encourages at least one of you. Yeah, if you ever want to ask me any questions too, I love talking about this kind of stuff, and I would love to pray for you or process with you through any kind of decisions you're making or career paths or whatever it is you may be wanting to do. But have a great day, guys. I will probably see you tomorrow.